Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're stepping into the shadows of a cage and the depths of a jungle as we explore Leslie Norris's evocative poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. Now this poem is more than just a description of an animal. It's a powerful commentary on freedom, instinct and the ethics of captivity. A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. Let us listen first to the poem before we go to the explanation. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of a velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Now this poem by Leslie Norris brings about a vivid picture in front of our eyes. The poem shifts its lens between two contrasting worlds. Number one, the cramped artificial cage of a zoo and the vast wild expanse of a natural forest. By moving the tiger back and forth between these settings, the poet Norris highlights the tragedy of a magnificent predator stripped of its essence. A tiger who has been moved out of his natural surroundings. Let's take a look at the stanza by stanza explanation. Number one, on one hand, you have the captive reality, which stands out in stanzas 1, 4, and 5. In the zoo, the tiger is a vivid figure trapped in a few steps of his cage. His paws are like velvet quiet and he moves in quiet rage. Understand the implication. The tiger, he is a masterpiece of evolution with nowhere to go. By the end of the poem, we see him ignored by visitors. We see him staring at the brilliant stars with brilliant eyes. A heartbreaking moment suggesting that the only thing still wild about him is his gaze towards the heavens. In stanzas 2 and 3, you have a kind of a natural dream. Here the poet imagines where the tiger should be. For example, he should be in the jungle, which the poet expresses through the line, sliding through long grass near water holes to hunt plump deer. The tiger should ideally be at the edge of the village, snarling around houses, baring his white fangs to terrorize the villagers. Now here the point is not about cruelty, it is about natural order. A tiger is meant to be a feared, majestic hunter and not a passive exhibit. When we take a look at the literary devices, we see that the poet has used language like a paintbrush. Here are the key tools he employs. He uses personification when he refers to the tiger as he rather than it, which gives the animal a soul, dignity, and a sense of stolen agency. He also uses metaphor when he says pads of velvet quiet. This compares the soft soles of the tiger's paws to velvet, emphasizing his silent, lethal movement. The poet has made use of oxymoron when he uses the phrase quiet rage. Rage is usually loud, but the tiger's anger is suppressed and bottled up behind bars. Imagery, the vivid stripes, lurking in shadow, and patrolling cars create a sharp visual contrast between the colorful wild and the mechanical zoo. Last but not the least, the poet has used alliteration when he uses phrases like concrete cell to emphasize the hardness and coldness of his imprisonment, but he uses these two sounds, concrete and cell. He uses these for poetic emphasis. Coming to the theme and relatability. The core theme is that of freedom versus captivity. Why does this matter to students? Now think about the feeling of being stuck. While we aren't in cages, the tiger's quiet rage is something one can relate to when they feel their potential is being limited by their environment. The poem asks us a difficult question: is our entertainment worth another being's misery? It teaches empathy, urging us to look past the vivid stripes and see the living, breathing soul that yearns for the brilliant stars. Now, children, with this, we wrap up our deep dive into Leslie Norris's masterpiece. Next time you visit a zoo, look into the eyes of the inhabitants. Are they truly there? Are those inhabitants, those animals which are behind bars, are they truly there, or are they dreaming of the long grass, which means their natural habitat? I'll see you again with the next lesson. Bye bye.